drought could affect the agriculture sector, and PDV Caribe Dominica hosts health and safety screening in Laudat. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tasia Floissac.
And I'm Nisha Charles. Stay with us for details on these and other stories after the break.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
The Dominica Meteorological Service is reporting that an impactful drought by the end of the wet season could affect the agriculture sector, among others. The report comes after forecasts by the Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum has issued a below-normal rainfall outlook for the first 3 months of the hurricane season. The Meteorological Service has already received reports of less than favorable conditions for the agriculture sector. Vernie Masley-Honoré is a meteorological assistant at the Dominica Meteorological Service.
Since last year, our forecasts have been indicating basically below normal rainfall during seasons. And for this season of June, July, August, where we're entering our wet or hurricane season, we are seeing this trend continuing. And looking at previous conditions during the last dry season, that will be from January to May, that we just passed, and previous conditions during the last wet season of 2014, we are concerned as to the impacts that the conditions that have already occurred and what can occur during June, July, August in terms of agriculture and other resources. So we're coming out and right now to bring the message across that impactful drought is a possibility by the end of August and by the end of November.
The Meteorological Service has been working closely with the agriculture sector and says farmers should take heed.
We are looking at 3 months period, and in terms of drought, there are various definitions for drought. Agriculture has a different definition. We're looking at below normal rainfalls for 3 months. If we're looking at water resources, they may experience drought concerns if we have below normal rainfall for within 6 to 12 months. So in terms of agriculture, we are looking at having impactful dry conditions, drought conditions, even right now. At Canefield, we have had, for the past 2 months, below normal rainfall. So we are already looking at impactful dry conditions, almost drought-like conditions for agriculture.
She advised other sectors to educate the public with regards to measures that can be taken to conserve water.
In more news, residents of the village of Laudat got the opportunity to receive free healthcare last Saturday. PDV Caribe Dominica hosted a health and safety screening at the community's health center as part of the ongoing celebration of the 10th anniversary of the signing of the PDV Caribe Agreement.
This is part of our way of encouraging people to practice better health habits. As you know, health and safety is of paramount importance to PDV Caribe Dominica, so it is one of the major things as we celebrate our anniversary. We have 2 more health outreaches pending in the community of Penville and Roseau Central.
The villagers turned out in large numbers and were attended to by specialists in various fields including surgery, pediatrics and ophthalmology.
We are working together with the Embassy of Venezuela and Petrocaribe in order to give some medical journal in different cities, constituencies. Last Saturday we went to Ranford, today we are in Laudat, and July 4 we will go to Penville. So that's the way that we have, Cuban Medical Brigade is the way to help, to give solidarity, to support the 10th, and also to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Petrocaribe in Dominica.
Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Rose Valley constituency, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, who also got his eyes checked on Saturday, welcomes the initiative.
Looking at men in terms of not general internal medicine, eye care programs, eye examinations. We look at surgery, pediatrics, and just to break it down a little further, in terms of, for women, they can get their examinations done privately. For men or prostate gland, you can examine it today. The people who are experiencing problems and difficulties with the eyes can be examined today, and some recommendations made. Of course, pediatrics, and of course, internal medicine. I see that as something that's very important for the community.
One of the residents, Catherine DeQuentel, spoke with the GIS News about her impressions of the care provided at Saturday's health and safety screening.
Everything was all right, everything was nice, and they are friendly people. I wish them good luck to come back and see us again. I enjoy everything. They just tell me take care of myself and don't do without my meditation. But they are very nice. I appreciate how they attend to people.
You're watching National Focus. Stay with us.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is two courts in one? The CCJ has two functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Welcome back. The media has a critical role in changing the public's perception on climate change. From June 18th to 19th, media personnel from across the OACS region got the tools to do just that at a symposium on communicating climate change issues held in St. Kitts. A regional survey conducted to determine how seriously people view climate change revealed that although persons saw the issue as serious, social issues such as crime and violence and unemployment took precedence. RRAC Communications Specialist Tekla Fontenad says the role of the media is to help the public realize that there is a link between these social issues and climate change.
The OACS, the UNDPs, the World Banks, all those people with the funds and so on, they cannot do the work themselves. And some of these people are technical people and they can only speak in jargons and in scientific language. So the media, you are very creative in terms of breaking down information. Once you understand the information, you can communicate it correctly. So our goal really, especially under the RAC project and the OACS, is to make sure that you have that information, you understand how to break it down, you have the resources available to help you to make a good story, and that you help to drive that dialogue about climate change.
Building awareness is the fourth aspect of the US $10.5 million Rally in the Region to Action on Climate Change, RRACC, project which began in 2010. RRACC also had a mandate to improve the regulatory framework for national adaptations strategies, provide direct support for climate adaptation measures, and build capacity in addressing information gaps with respect to climate change across the OACS. Fontenad says the media's role is particularly important in getting across the message about climate change.
The fact that climate change is not seen as serious as unemployment, you really can't tell people what's serious for them, you understand? I think what's important is that we know that they don't see it as high as, as we would like. And what we want to be able to do is to be able to make the link between climate change and those issues that they see important. Because the thing is, climate change really can cause all these things. It can cause poverty, it can cause unemployment, it can cause crime and violence. So what it tells me is, although they don't think it's the most serious issue, it's the most serious issue, but they think it's serious. but just not more serious than unemployment. So for us, what we do easily is take that when we are doing awareness work, is to show how climate change impacts can cause those very social issues, and that's really the challenge.
This final component to raise awareness will bring the project to a close in September 2015. However, Fontenot says the project may receive a one-year extension to tie loose ends. It will also take another year before the impact of this project on the perception of the region's people regarding climate change can be measured. Nonetheless, Fontenot is optimistic that with the help of the media, the message on climate change is getting across. So we're here with Kimani, who attended the workshop in St. Kitts, and she attended with other media professionals in the region, and they were looking at more effective ways to communicate the issues resulting from climate change to the general public. So Kimani, tell us more about your experiences.
Okay, well, I must say it was a wonderful experience, an eye-opening experience. As you said, there were other media professionals from the region, the OACS region, about 40 persons or a little over 40 persons in total. And it was a good experience just learning about the effects of climate change, learning how it's an issue that is so pertinent to us as small island developing states. So it was an eye-opening experience. I learned a lot, which I hope during the next few days, few weeks, few months to be able to pass on to you, my colleagues, and see what we can do regarding advocacy for climate change in Dominica.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and Kimani, the new information that you received, how do you think that we could implement that here at GIS?
Well, one of the things that we do, or our primary goal, is to disseminate information. So I'm thinking if we could just do more documentaries, more stories, cause the Dominican public to be more aware about the effects of climate change. And as you rightly said, one of the issues with climate change is that it's very complex in terms of the terms, the terminology, in terms of bringing out information. There's so much jargon when it comes to climate change. So basically it's understanding it so that we can break it down and give it to people in a way that they can understand and see how it relates to them, see how it affects them, and see what they can do to reduce the effects of climate change.
In their own homes.
In their own homes, in their own lives. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The Discover Dominica Authority is using a partner's cocktail to stimulate increased visitor arrivals and promote the destination. The cocktail, which is in its third year, will highlight partners of signature events and give them the opportunity to market their products and services. Guests will receive first-hand knowledge of events such as World Creole Music Festival, Dominica's Jazz and Creole, and Carnival. Director of Tourism, Colin Piper, says the event is hoped to be a fun one.
What we've done this year, I've put on my Director of Tourism hat as opposed to my Chairman of DFC hat, and I've opened it up to activities that the private sector is doing that can benefit the destination in terms of either attracting people to come to their events, so we increase our visitor arrival and we increase our visitor expenditure, and also through promotion will help now to get the word out about Dominica. So one of the events is the Nature Island Food Festival, and so which will be happening on July 5th. And so because the whole issue of health and wellness is integral and key, critical to Dominica, we are inviting them to participate as well, and so have an opportunity to showcase their event to some of the corporate sponsors and partners that will be there.
Other stakeholders will include Dive Fest and Vibes 360 Triathlon. The DDA is also trying to attract Mercury Beach Party originating out of Martinique to host its event in Dominica.
It's a case where upwards of 150 speedboats will come to Dominica and they have a beach party for 2 days. But what's interesting is wherever the Mercury Beach Party has been staged, Express Diesel has had to put on additional ferries to go. So we look at this as an opportunity for people who want to come and experience that type of fun and see whether we can, with one activity, increase. So say we're successful in bringing, 1,000 people for that event. That would be great for the numbers.
He says it's all geared at generating economic activity for Dominica.
Every time somebody comes to Dominica, they spend money. And if they spend money, they're spending money on food, they're spending money on accommodation, on rental vehicles, and so the trickle-down effect is far-reaching.
The cocktail takes place at 6 p.m. on June 23rd at the Fort Young Hotel Terrace.
Before we leave, here are a few announcements. In an effort to improve and expand the tourism cruise sector in Dominica, the Ministry of Tourism and Urban Renewal will hold an important stakeholder meeting with all bus and taxi owners on Wednesday, June 24th at 10 a.m. at the Dominica Public Service Union building. Please note that the Honorable Senator Robert Tong, Minister for Tourism and Urban Renewal, will be present to listen to your concerns and suggestions. All are asked to make a special effort to attend and to be on time. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, les affaires caille et puis de l'eau tapent haut priorité développement. Hordement parlement pour Cachakou, honorable Ian Pinade. Gouvernement Dominique dépenser l'argent en ces deux secteurs là.
Nous aussi partir moun dans la pointe sous fouiller Cachakou et puis gagnon et puis caille et puis qu'a fait toilet bayo, brand new caille ba moun et puis nous continue qu'a fait les bagages ça. Regardez l'eau moun à Cachakou tenir un parti problème. Because moun à savane depuis savane develop nous realize that Cachakou qu'a develop a plus gros place. Et puis l'eau c'est un problème pour moun à savane. Et puis nous allons et puis nous invest $1.6 million pour make sure mon Cachakou pas de problème ça encore. Et puis project ça just complete et puis mon Cachakou especially those à Savannah à Cotan et puis il pas de pièce problème et puis glou encore. Mon la porte à Union Estate, quand nous développons Union Estate, nous réalise même barrière là nous tenons un problème et puis water tank là nous tenons et puis nous construisons l'autre water tank. Et puis nous spend $750,000 pour construire water tank ça. So nous make sure like nous develop communities là, especially Soufouye constituency, pour make sure nous faire bon bagay ba mon community là.
D'autres nouvelles, messieurs, mesdames, Education Trust Fund qui a conduit Radiothon l'année là. Radiothon ça là qui a public là une chance pour faire contribution l'argent pour organisation là. Monsieur Willie Février, c'est chairman Education Trust Fund.
Il y a une activité nous avons fait aussi pour munir l'argent, ouais, pour sembler l'argent pour un de ces enfants. C'est un radiothon. Dans ça, nous avons le 27 juin. Samedi, le 27 juin, nous avons un autre radiothon. L'année passée, nous n'avons pas tenu, mais dans ça, nous avons faire encore. Ça, c'est ça qui bat tout le monde qui a écouté la radio, occasion, opportunité pour faire une petite donation pour Education Trust Fund là. Et ça m'a demandé pour là yo qui radio avait dit que ba $5, $10, $20, $50 ça y aura bail. C'est pour ouvrir mener l'argent parce que nous avons trouvé que les cas 10 ans les radios là mais nous ni pour faire valet coup de fil en l'eau nous ni pour que yo valet fois avant yo mener l'argent entrer. So nous avons dit dans ça nous espérer qu'il y a mené l'argent à tuer, là il fait pledge.
D'autres nouvelles, ministère pour commerce et puis développement PTT prise honorable Roselyne Paul, qui a fait parole que le gouvernement dominicain continue le développement cela en l'autre l'année financière là. Honorable Paul fait parole cela pendant qu'il a adressé un programme trainement pour une certaine catégorie de monde qui prend place en Guantans. Ministre Paul mentionne un exemple projet qui a conduit Rural Based Development Project. Et aussi mentionné l'occasion qui est établie pour le développement petite entreprise. Le gouvernement Dominica aussi poussé devant petite industrie en pays là. Et puis finalement, le département pompier bien concerné monde qui a mis des faits sans pièce considération. Parole ça là sorti au chef département ça là monsieur Tasia Dioupi.
Certain qui ni autant monde qui a mis ces défis là. Nous avons vu ça à Sichime côté qu'on a navigué nous avons vu que monde qui mettait ces défis parce que yo peut-être à mes défis parce que yo quoi place la salle comme ça pour yo quoi des défis là qui nettoyer pour nous mais là nous mettons défis comme ça nous avons vu il a détruit habitation végétation il a changé écologie à West Coast, par exemple. Nous avons vu qui a affecté ces gens qui a miel, qui a fait miel. Comme ça, moi ça pratique ça là, qui a affecté nous et moi demandé pour nous porter attention et pour nous stop éteindre, pour nous quitter vieille habitude, mettre du feu.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est toute pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, a tip to reduce side stitches when running.
Get in and fasten your seatbelt, okay?
Mom, why do I have to wear seatbelts? I do not want to.
James, when I ask you to fasten your seatbelt, please do as I say. It's for your own safety and protection, okay?
Yeah.
Protect yourself, protect the child. Always fasten your seatbelt. Crashes can happen at any time. It is better to be safe than sorry. Remember, seatbelts save lives. A message brought to you by the Violence and Injury Surveillance System Committee in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization.
A lot of people experience side stitches or sharp stabbing pains under the lower edge of the rib cage while running. And if you're not an athlete per se, you may not know how to relieve them. One useful way you might be able to avoid that is by simply changing your running gait to always breathe in and out on your left foot.
Change your gait such that you begin inhaling and exhaling as your left foot strikes the ground. Many runners begin and end their breathing cycle on the same foot and are described as right or left-footed. Practicing this altered gait may decrease the frequency that the liver, the heaviest abdominal organ, is displaced downwards while the diaphragm is in its highest position, thus relieving side stitches.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Nisha Charles.
And I'm Tasia Floissac. Thanks for watching, and join us again next time on National Focus.